Hey everybody, it's Sherpa Rage. I know I have not done a Warframe video in a while. I have been just lots of chaotic stuff going on in the real world, but I am finally back and doing build breakdown videos again. Going to start doing that regularly now. Did kind of take a hiatus because I had got to the point where pretty much I had about 95% of all content pretty much cleared except for the raid stuff. So kind of took a little hiatus. Now I had some stuff to work with, so I've kind of gotten back into it. So I have two builds I'm going to be doing. This video will cover the Equinox build breakdown, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into that. Now, Equinox is honestly probably one of my newer favorite frames that have come out in the recent updates and everything. Equinox is a very solid frame in between a mix of she's a very supportive he because I think it's supposed to be both genders on that, one of each. um, so she's a very supportive Warframe. She has healing, she has damage. She has some pretty good smaller, might I say, maybe smaller crowd controls. Not quite as more of a soft CC maybe than some of the harder CCs you'd see, like with Nyx's Chaos, and everything that's affected, or like Banshee with her ult causing that sort of stun and slight damage tick and everything depending on how you build her. So yeah, jumping just kind of straight into the Equinox. Equinox was released on what update was it? I think update 17. Yeah, which that looks like that was July 31st on that guy. Perfect. So let's jump into this here. So on Equinox, I did already forma her. Unfortunately, I did not do a video before I had formed her. She's built maybe a little bit differently than some people have. I recently looked at the Mugamu, I totally spaced on his name there. Totally looked at the Mugamu build recently. Saw a couple things different, like he had a rage on there. He had, and one of the ones that he had on there that I had been considering was natural talent. Because honestly, Equinox seems like she's one of those frames that you could definitely have that sort of nicer speed improvement there by doing reducing the casting speed in half there. So it does seem like viable. Rage, that's a pretty good one as well, which I could also do. I'll probably do a second additional build with her, especially with Vigor on right now. That's one that I may consider dropping off, even though she only has 860 shield and health. 600 power, that's a great number. Honestly, with the primed flow now, still don't have it at max. Prime continuity, still working on that as well, but prime flow is definitely more of where I'm focusing. I want to have that higher energy pool. I want to have those frames that have that 700 plus energy. Now, I realize I do also a lot of invested stuff, so it I can see how some people may think that doesn't make a lot of sense for me to run a lot of infested mission stuff when I'm going to get my energy drained, and various things like that that are just going to kind of kill my energy. But typically, still not that much of a problem, and energy builds seem to be kind of, I like the caster, the hybrids. I've been playing, honestly, a lot more of just healers. And those who know me know that Trinity is my least favorite Warframe, just because of her kit. She's a great frame, great healer. I just personally don't enjoy playing her as much. I love healers though in the style of Warframe as it is now and as it kind of has been becoming. So I love, of course, Oberon's my main. Equinox is now pretty high up there, honestly, because she feels like a higher skill cap frame. I hate to kind of liken this to another game, but I'm going to liken it to Smite for those of you who are familiar with it and those of you familiar with the god Uller. It's very much like his kit in the sense that, or even Hell, really. Any god that has a kit that gives you two ability-based sets that you switch between forms. And honestly, that's one of the things that I really like about Equinox, is she feels like she has a higher skill cap if you want to play her at an effective rate and you want to be able to, because in my mind, an Equinox will be using her abilities fairly constantly, and you got to know when to swap, and you got to be watching your team's health pools, and you want to know, all right, we're getting hammered, but we're not taking damage. All right, I swap over to my day form, or I swap over to my night form. All right, I lay down a maim. boom, you know, tons of damage. You kill, you get up to like 22,000. Boom, you pop that, you're good. Oh, we're taking some damage. Pop over to your night or your day form. Boom, pop into some healing, and then bam, you just go with mend. So really, Equinox is a very nice supportive kind of player. She in sort of the way that her mechanics is and the way that I feel like she's meant to play with sort of the team on that team level, I feel like in a sense she has the Limbo sort of skill set to where she fits in. She's a little bit more unique, a little bit different, but because she is so unique in abilities that people are rather used to, like healing and damage, instead of, you know, like say Limbo's Rift Walk and Banishing and kind of almost more what some people may consider trolley abilities, it kind of does seem like Equinox maybe got a little bit better reception on that into like your average say squad, because she does offer like a healing on like a Limbo, you know, and things like that. But her sort of uniqueness feels very similar in the same sort of vein as the way that Limbo was meant to be. He was meant to add a sort of another option or another layer of complexity, if you will, to the overall game arc, which is honestly one of the cooler things I think about Limbo, was that his skills, while unique and different, you know, they're not the best, but they're not maybe the worst. But just in general, he's just such an interesting concept and such a fun idea that I think is definitely worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead then and kind of cut this down and jump into some play and show you guys the build breakdown video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are doing Zini. Honestly, I have not run Zini in a while, so that's going to be something interesting. So right off the bat, we'll swap into night form. Get some damage going on here. We want to pop this. The 3, which is the pacify and provoke. So provoke in the day or night form, like we're now. That's going to give you and your it's going to give your allies rather a damage increase as long as they're in your aura. You see that kind of little particles zipping around. That's going to be basically, as long as they're within that, they're going to receive a sort of a damage percentage. You'll see it. It'll be a little like circle around like a person-looking thing. And it's going to be a percentage of how much you're increasing their damage. Then, of course, we have, what is it, the Rage and... Oh, yeah, Rest and Rage. There we go. I believe that thing... Yeah, that... Oh, no! Rest and Rage. To be honest, I forget what that does. I know the Rest makes the enemies go to sleep. I think Rage makes them more susceptible to damage, if I'm not mistaken there. Let's see, what are we in? We're in the... night form still. All right, I'm gonna turn on. All right, so here we go. Oh, this is why she shines. She shines. So you see, I've already got stacked about 7K there. All right, so we're gonna kill a couple more things, pop that, and just slash damage everywhere. All the things. All right, now swap over. All right, so now we've got the, what is this, pacify? Yeah, pacify, which makes you take less damage, I believe, the closer enemies get to you. All in all, I mean, honestly, her her second and third ability are kind of just like you want to cast them at your leisure when you can. Your 3 is a toggle ability. I feel like a lot of people don't actually know that, so that might be something to kind of mention. That it is a toggle-based ability, so you can toggle it on. And then, of course, when you swap, you will need to toggle. Well, you should need to toggle that again. Let me see. Okay, give me some healing. I'm not even taking damage. That is the one kind of annoying thing, and I hope they do eventually do that with Equinox, is they give her an ability. So, like right now I'm full health. When you cast that and pop it, if everyone's full, I would like them to have an ability that gives Mirage, Equinox overshield. So basically, it takes a percentage of that and puts it on your overshield. So essentially, Equinox then could be an actual sort of like a super shield medi buffer kind of, you know, support. Give her a little bit more of a sort of a usefulness there. Now, I don't feel like that would be necessarily too broken, but there would have, you know, it would have to be like maybe like 30%. It could be like a 3 mod rank, make it a syndicate mod, you know, with three ranks, and then at max rank it's like goes up by 10% each time. So 30% of your total, or 40 if you want to do it like that, make it fair. So each one at least gets 10% split then, or something like that. So I mean, that's just kind of something additional. I thought that would be nice. So yeah, let's see. We'll swap. That'll cancel her 3. Yeah. So, excuse me. Every time you do swap, then modes, do keep in mind that if you do want to pop over to the 3, anyone of you'll have to do that as well with the ult. So that's just kind of a nice thing to know. Let's see. Oh, 57 main damage. Yay, that's what I wanted. That was a lot of not damage there. Oh, good, disrupted. See, and that's what I'm saying as far as the builds. Like I was just mentioning earlier, that the energy can get just zapped like that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the sort of build breakdown for Equinox. A little overview of that. I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the build breakdown for Atlas. So, thank you for viewing, and hope to see you guys soon.